Hello, everyone. We have come up with a new topic, and this time we are going to speak about work culture. We have spoken about artificial intelligence, space, and spirituality, and this topic is trending.
Yeah.
And we are going to explain what is work culture. And Surya, you can just brief about it. I'll explain about it.
See, woke culture is nothing but just a sudden new understanding about life, sudden new way of living that they want to remove all the orthodoxic way of living. And now it's like a more liberalistic idea, freedom. Every time there is some new meaning for freedom, right? So, like that. Now, this is the thing.
Fine. So, when we speak about work culture, we have to speak about feminism, how West is influencing India, and LGBTQIA plus,
Mm-hmm.
and cancel culture, hate speech, and lot of
Yeah,
topics
yeah, yeah.
around that.
Yeah.
So, how do you think the LGBTQAIA plus comes into existence?
There's two ways to answer that question. One is that it is naturally there, universe given, God given kind of a situation, or it's an influence, an agenda pushed by some people in society. It's a hormonal change that is happening inside the human body because human body is so complex, right? So many things can happen. When it's like that, many people get confused. They don't know which side to choose or like how to be, because we have society norms, right? Like a male, a female, but it's not just a society. This is nature. This is how we have come to understand ourselves as human beings, because it's there everywhere, most of the places, 99%. So I feel it's going to be a nature's thing. That's all from my perspective.
Fine. So, I have few concepts which will explain why the LGBTQAI plus came into existence.
Mm-hmm.
Like there is a concept called theories of genders.
Okay.
There are quite a lot of authors who has written these theories, but I like one of the author, and he explains
Hmm.
why. What happens when you take birth?
Hmm.
An infant is given a gender
Okay.
when he is born. We can call it as a sex, where he is defined as male or female when he is born for legal and medical purposes.
Hmm.
But when he grows up,
Hmm.
we never ask him
Hmm.
whether he is comfortable to be a male or female, whether he is actually, whether he is forced upon these two genders. I personally feel, and also the author feels, the gender is forced because of your environment, because of school, because of parents.
But what about nature? Naturally.
Definitely nature also, because the hormones affecting that person makes him believe that he is a male or female. But if from the prehistoric time, or you speak about, not every person is comfortable to be called as male or female. So maybe he's born as a male, but he's having more of feminine energy.
Or born
Maybe
as a female and having more masculine energy.
yes.
But not many of them. I feel is just like 1% or 5%. Now it's growing exponentially actually,
Yeah,
because of all the. We will come to that, but yeah, it's a
that's
small
true.
percentage.
This is one of the theories of gender.
Mm-hmm.
So
The theory is that humans are determined at the time of their birth. Later on, as they grow, they're not asked if they are comfortable being
male
fit
or
into
female,
that gender.
yes. We will see what is the existing challenge of these people.
But for me, I don't go with that at all. I mean, maybe I don't know how broad you can think, but you are a male or you're a female. That is how nature has made life forms so that they can procreate and exist, multiply. So that's why male and female.
So you say if a person can't procreate, he doesn't have any right to live?
No, I'm not saying that. They obviously have the right to live. They obviously have the right to dignity,
Okay.
everything. But I feel it's like a defect, Just like how some people are born without hands or eyes or something like that, right? It's a defect. It's nothing more than that. So
So
it's
if
just
a
hormonal on one
person
side.
he's having this defect and he's not comfortable to be either male or female, then what should he do?
Okay, see, there's one more thing. When we say LGBTQ, right?
Yeah.
So it's a broad spectrum.
Yeah.
LGBTQI plus. It will differ because when we say gay, lesbian, LGBT, B is bisexual, transgender, and queer. So leave queer, that's an open umbrella. That has so many terms. But gay, they're born as men, right? They choose to live with men, be with men in a sexual way. Or they have a liking or loving towards men. That is all they have. And same opposite with lesbians. They love or they like a woman. Now transgender and queer and whatever plus. So they have this plus, right?
Plus, definitely yes.
But why do they have the plus?
Because there are multiple genders coming up now.
Exactly. Since the beginning of time, like you said, male is there, female is there, and one extra transgender, like a mix of both because of some hormonal change and everything. But you still have plus right now. That means what? Even after so many years of evolution, so many years of understanding human psychology, there's still a plus and many things can be added up.
Yeah.
So what? It's like a trend or what? Like you can just identify as something.
I'm not sure.
This is all the liberals kind of mindset, woke liberals. If you're high in conscientiousness and very low in openness, then you're a conservative. It's like right wing, basically. Okay, you lean to the right.
Okay.
If you're very low in conscientiousness and very high in openness, then you're a left wing. You're leaning towards the left. That's where all the liberals come in. Like, and when you say left, there are extreme lefts. When you say right, there are extreme rights. But somewhere it's like, if you see, nobody's right. Everyone have their own agendas, own ways. Somewhere it has to balance in between. Only then you're going to have a much better society to live in. Correct.
Fine. So who is influencing these people's mind? So if a person, I feel there is an advantage to be a male or a female.
There
is
definitely an advantage.
But there is no advantage to be a third gender. What I personally feel,
Okay.
it is improving now.
Yeah.
But why should one choose a third gender when he can take advantage of being a male or female?
See, personally, I have no hate for them. I don't have any contempt or any such thing towards them. I've had many transgender friends. In India, we have seen many transgenders near the signals, right?
Yeah.
Traditionally, it's kind of a
those
thing.
are called transgender.
Yeah.
Okay.
Transgenders. So it's like a male transitioned into a female. Or female transition to a male. We haven't seen much of that. Female transition to a male, we haven't seen much of that around. Like from my childhood. But male transitioned into a female, that's the ideal transgender that we have seen. When you talk to them, right, there's a way of their behavior, okay? Many people I've seen feel uncomfortable with it. But if you catch the right frequency and talk to them the right way, they become so good. They talk very good with you. And they bless you. In India, it's like that. They bless you and they give you a 1 rupee coin. And if you keep that coin, it's like you get a lot of money. Some kind of a belief like that. But they give that coin with a lot of love and respect. They won't give that to anyone just like that. It's like, I've had many coins like that because it's not that I wanted it. I just spoke to them. I treated them equally like how I would treat myself or anybody around. Few of them have opened up. Okay. And they had very bad stories, very bad past. The way they have been exploited or the way they have experienced life. If you listen to it, you'll actually understand the sad story of it. It's not like you'll understand why they are that. I mean, one part is obviously, even they can't explain that. They say that God just made us this way. We are feeling this way and this is how it is. And one more thing that I've heard about this is like when they get their medical procedure done, right, for the transition from a male...
From transgender to female.
Correct. Yeah. From a male to a female.
Okay.
In India... Now they're legalizing it. But either ways, it's not like you have a big scope of doctors to treat you for all of these things because before it was very undermined before. Because they used to always cast away transgenders in India. So the treatment used to be very bad. It's not like a clean hi-fi treatment like the
Definitely,
other
they
things.
don't have
So
enough money to pay for that.
correct. Also the doctors themselves, right? They're
Yeah.
also trying out something new,
Okay.
and the way the doctors treat them also is very bad.
Okay.
Most of the times the procedure, right, has a lot of infections that happen. Okay, and it's
Okay.
very bad. It's very painful in your main parts of your body, very sensitive parts. If that happens, it's too much. Many people have even experienced without having proper anesthesia given to them.
Oh, that's bad.
It's very bad. It's very bad.
Yeah. So if you see the condition of transgender people in West, it is improving day by day.
And it is totally different there than here.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see in the West how they're actually living some decent life compared to India.
Yes.
Here, what is that word hijda? They say, right?
Hijda.
Hijra. They also say the word because they're so used to it. They're like, "Arey, ऐसा ही बोलते हैं हमको hijra बोल देते हैं." Like, that's the thing. We are
Yeah.
using Western terms like transgender and LGBTQ. These are all Western terms,
Western
right?
terms.
But in India, it has a different.
But you have spoken good side of transgenders in India. There is also a bad side of transgenders. Like they go to shop, they beg for money. If a person doesn't give money, they flash their genitals and
Oh my
they
God.
ask for money. So they treat bad. So this is also a condition happening in India. And so what is your take on that?
I know I just spoke for them. Even it's just their behavior. You have toxic masculinity, toxic femininity. Like that, maybe this is just toxic,
Transgenders.
transgenderism. That's all.
Sure.
So that scale is always there. There's always someone with that extra. Okay,
Yeah.
every side of the society.
But if you see the transgenders, most of the transgenders, they don't have enough money and they are brought up in slums. Their behavior in India generally, if you see, are quite rude, and people are not able to get a professional job with that behavior, that attitude. Whether is it improving or how to make them to be as equal as male and female in India? What do you think?
Definitely we should, but the right wing will not accept that for sure. Left wing might push it up.
Okay.
Okay, just like how they pushed LGBTQ
Yeah.
to be able to marry, but then the Supreme Court didn't allow that. So, see, one thing is, regardless of whatever, they definitely need to be given dignity, need to be given respect, treat them as human beings first before gender. Obviously, they should be treated equally. That's the only
Fine.
thing.
Are you comfortable if a transgender comes and works with you in
Why
your
not?
company?
I'll speak to them as I speak to somebody else. I told you, I've had transgender friends. But yeah, this one thing you said is, I don't know about them flashing their genitals, all this. But sometimes they behave rude. I've seen that. You've seen them clap like that, right? They clap in a certain
it's hard
way.
clap.
Yeah, it's kind of like a stereotypical thing that is there in India. But in West, right, I haven't seen anything like that. They have all,
they're moving their hands. I don't know why.
They move their hands like that. So yeah.
Fine. I personally sell engineering products in my company. I have seen a few well-educated transgender getting job in MNCs like General Motors. When I visited their plant in Pune, I was surprised to see a transgender working in their company. I was shocked.
That's good.
Yeah, it's in India. It's not in US, not in West. It's in India, and they're well-educated now, and they're getting professional jobs.
How long back was this?
This was almost 6 to 7 years back. So I think it's improving now. I think through our podcast we should
No,
make
6 to 7 years back. No, right now it's everywhere.
Yes.
They're fine. Probably they're getting a better life.
Fine. I also have a comment here. See, I think Indian parents should note this point. Schools in US are pushing this concept of LGBTQ in students' mind.
Yeah.
In schools and colleges. So it is coming in India for sure.
Yeah, everything that happens in the Western
US,
countries, it has to come to India in some way or the other.
So
It's like all the grand things happen there, and then it just spreads to India in some way or the other.
Fine. Should a
In third world
teacher
countries.
in school ask about the gender, speak about gender in school? ask the gender of the children.
See, that's a very, very deep question to ask a child, okay? Because children don't know. They cannot take decisions then and there. They don't know life. They don't know anything.
Correct.
You should let the parents have the choice on it,
Yeah.
okay? Because you cannot have your own agenda to push on children. The parents would want to bring their children up in a certain way. I'm not saying that the parents have to be completely, narrow-minded. I'm saying parents with an open mind, but who know their children. Still, it should be their choice to decide and, help their children in whatever way. Teachers shouldn't impose or coerce or like push these kind of ideas and agendas to children. And their children, what will they understand? What are you going to ask a child like that? It's not going to help in any way.
Supreme Court judgment we have seen in the
Yeah.
favor of LGBTQ, but they are not allowed to marry. They can
Yeah.
open the joint account.
Correct. Can live together.
They can live together. They have a few legal rights also, but they are not able to marry. So things are improving.
Of course, they should be able to live together compared to some years back, right? Or like how our parents, like their times, how it was, and compared to us, how men and women used to be before marriage and after marriage. Right now, it's not like that. They're living together, doing whatever they want. If they're interested, they're there together, and otherwise, if they're not interested, they just break up and leave. This is how they're living, right? So they can also be. What is wrong with that?
Fine. So we have covered enough points for LGBTQIA+. Now we will move on to feminism.
Okay.
So
No, I think all of these things are interlinked.
So the liberal feminism and radical feminism. Liberal feminism speaks about equality of rights between men and women,
Okay.
whether it is legal rights or any other rights. So it is growing in West, but
You're saying is that's on a good scale or like liberal feminism, right?
yes,
It's on a good scale or how is it?
it is on good scale for some extent.
Isn't it not?
Because
It's the same thing in India also, right?
same thing in India, but if you see the condition of rural women in India, liberal concepts are really good. But if you see the cities and what's happening in cities, I feel it's getting worse for the environment of women. Initially, you spoke about one point before the podcast that rich men are spoiling women by investing huge amount of money in social media.
Yeah, and they won't even figure it out. They won't even know that this is happening. All we have to do is click pictures, put it on social media, and we can earn from that. This is how they're pushing things in the name of quote unquote job opportunities. This is what it
Yeah.
is.
Fine. What is your feedback on porn websites and video chats and the new generation Instagrams where they post their bodies? And is this a liberal feminism?
This is freedom, but not freedom. They're still slaves to something, right?
Yeah.
They're still slaves to the money. They're still slaves to the people around them. If they have to post all those kind of provocative pictures and videos with porn websites or all these videos, even if they stop right now, like there's so much already. It can go on for years. Probably it's like that. There's so much.
Yeah, I know.
But you still keep doing
Growing
it and
it.
doing it. It's become like a lifestyle for people, a custom lifestyle.
Okay.
And it's one of the biggest industry, right? The porn industry
Yeah.
with $1 billion on it.
Yeah.
Things happen.
In the name of liberal feminism, if women go into these kind of porn activities or showing their bodies in Instagram,
They don't care.
They don't care. How will a normal man get a good wife?
Mhm. They don't want a normal man, first of all.
Okay.
This is the truth about life. Men age like wine, women age like milk. This is the saying that we've heard. It's very true that women, whenever they're reaching 18 years, they're more prettier and they have more attention from people. The value is there more at that period. Because when you say out of women, who else is there outside? Men. Men are only there, right? So anything that they do for attention, it is from men. But they say I don't want men. Bullshit.
To 20,
18 to 23,
25.
25 is the max.
Okay.
Whatever they think, okay, it's going to reduce. That's the truth. We know as men, nobody cared, nobody gave a damn about us.
Correct.
When we are 18, even till we are at least 35, 36, 30, probably that's when people start even like giving us a certain level of value. When we understand life lessons, when we understand what is the way of living, how to deal with people, what is our surrounding, and money and career and so many things. Men have to build value. Women are born with value and they have to preserve that value.
Okay.
But men don't have any value when they're born. They have to build that value. That's why any man with a status is recognized. If you don't have anything, I'm not talking just about celebrities in front of camera. I'm saying even you look around, right? Any man who has a status is always recognized. But any woman, she just doesn't need to have like 1 rupee also. Like if she looks pretty, she's just walking. How many people will look?
Correct.
Women themselves will look at her. Like, yeah, that's the
Yeah.
thing.
When she is done with her whole face from 18 to 25, should a normal, a
Call it a
good,
whole face.
should a good man accept her as wife?
I would say that it all depends on the man, because a woman is a complete reflection of her man. So the man has to choose the right woman.
In India, it is trending that no seal, no deal.
What is that?
No seal. If woman is not virgin, I'm not going to marry her. So, is it practically possible?
Virginity is a big topic that they start debating about. But don't you think this was there from our previous generation? They had some principles they abided and lived by. Like women used to engage with
Okay.
sexual activities only after marriage. But
Fine.
now it's not like that. People want to explore their sexual fantasies and sexual desires and whatever they have, right? I mean, it's a very natural thing. But the difference is the previous generation knew about it. They understood the science behind it. They knew that if you do it in this way, you're going to have a very good, healthy marriage relationship, a lifelong journey. But if people want to break these ideologies that was there from before, they will use negative examples like men rape their wives. This is what feminists say. It might be there. I'm not denying that. But I'm saying you can't take that example and then destroy one whole culture of an understanding which is there in India. So to bring your Western ideologies in India, you want to break India's culture. It's kind of like that. There's too many people in the world today.
Correct.
They have, the best thing is they have an advantage to interact with people. You just take a walk down, right? How many people do you see? One person crosses by you, you're not going to see that same person. It's a big world out there.
Fine. Now we will come to family part. And Indian men, they love their moms. And when they're married, they don't give much importance to their wife. They might mistreat their wife. But
This is again an extreme example.
yeah, extreme example. The importance of wife is much higher in his life.
Yeah.
He has to
That's
be
there.
taken care for whole life after his marriage, and at the time of his death, the wife and his kids are the ones who will perform his last rites. And if you take the data, women's live longer than men. Most of the data
I've seen
says.
that in memes also.
Yes. So there is the importance of wife and also mom. How do you segregate that?
It's a very basic understanding that everyone plays their roles perfectly. There's no equal way of playing. You spoke about value to his wife as he is giving to his mother. The same thing on the other side also, right? She has to give the same value that she is giving to her father. So you cannot talk about one side.
Yeah.
It goes all the sides. It all comes under one main thing, that
Yeah.
as a human being, how you interact with people,
Yeah.
what level of understanding you have, okay, how much respect you give, how much respect you receive, what principles you live by, and goes on and on. This is it.
Fine. So we are now getting into toxic feminism.
Yeah, you have something to say?
Toxicity in feminism we can see everywhere. We can see in workplace culture. where people use this toxicity to get the things done inside the office. Women use their sexuality get the things done whatever
Okay,
they want.
I've seen such examples, but they're just using all this to their advantage, right?
Yeah,
It's like how men use their power to do
correct.
certain things. Women are using their power. That's all. It's all an act of manipulation to get the job done. So there's no right or wrong about it.
Fine,
If you need something, you are going to manipulate somebody for it.
fine.
And there's healthy manipulation, negative manipulation. These things are all different branches. But I'm just saying that manipulation would be there if they want some job to be done. And yeah, it's not like it's there everywhere.
If you see the Johnny Depp's case, that is toxic feminism.
That is toxic to the core.
Toxic to the
Amber Heard.
definitely. This happens in a common man's family also.
Mm-hmm.
It is hard to define which women is toxic, and if you see the marriage acts, every act favors women.
That is one thing that is actually scary if you understand and think about it. Considering today's generation, right? How things are going on. And if you really have this mindset that you want to marry and live with a woman, but then you understand how things are going on in the society also. It's a very scary thing for men. Like, imagine she just wakes up and decides to leave.
Correct.
You can be sitting here, no, it's all about trust, it's all about love, it's all about this and that, but what if it happens?
When will the men get
I feel
peace?
2000 I feel in coming generations marriage is a big time scam.
Big time scam.
I really feel it's a big time scam.
Yeah.
Especially when the governments are involved in it, right?
Yeah.
When the law is involved in it in such a way, it is going to be hard.
First, it is hard to find a good woman, and after getting married, whether she is good or toxic, it's difficult to identify. And then, if she becomes toxic, then it's hard to live.
I think that's why people are dating in advance. They're already having live-in relationship also, right? It's all about the man. It's like this. Okay, I'm a man. I'm dating somebody. Okay, but I get to see what she is. At the same time, if she's a little off the track, I will try to put her in a good understanding, a good place. I will try to do that. I'll try to bring her in the stream. But if it doesn't happen, it's not in my
It's
hand.
difficult.
Maybe she's too old to mold. Probably that is the phrase that I would use.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So a normal man cannot identify those red flags in women because
Thing is vice versa also, right?
Yeah.
There are so many innocent girls also out there who get cheated on by many guys. It's both the sides, not just men and women. Even in terms of lesbians and gays, you should hear their stories, how they also break up in very bad ways. Everyone, it all narrows down to you as a human being. What is it that you do? How do you interact? That's the thing in the end. As a human being is the base layer, which is the power. And on top of that, your gender, your masculine energy or feminine energy, that boosts up your vision.
fine. So when we speak toxic feminism, there is also toxic masculinity.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. It's both the sides. It's not like just one side.
The Indian movies, examples like KGF, any movies like old movies, if you say the Amrish Puri, the villain, Indian villain, they promote toxic masculinity.
But that is the big thing which was there, right? It's not just now. Like, see, India, there's always one extra emotion.
Correct.
In movies, Indian audience just love it. Some of them until they come to an understanding about how extra these are. But still, it's an entertainment. People enjoy it. I enjoy it. You also enjoy it probably. Yeah, I get it. You're saying toxic masculinity, the way they promote it. People accept it. People look up to them.
Okay, what happens if a man cries in front of his girlfriend or a wife? So
You should never do that.
why? Why not?
You should never cry in front of your girl at any given date. If you want to cry, right,
Yeah.
go alone and cry. Go to your friends and cry, like male friends.
Okay.
It's better to just cry alone if you want to cry, or don't cry at all. Learn to withstand that. But if you cry in front of a woman, it's not going to work out. This is a reality. Don't do that. And suppose, worst come worst case, some way or something, and then you cry, Try to find a way to make up to that. You have to. They're going to sit and debate about this. Women will be like, no, he has to cry. Like, he should cry. He should let out his emotions. That won't work out that way. You can be jovial. You can be happy. You can do all kind of other things. And every other emotion is fine except crying or being sad or depressed. Yeah, there are some women who help men when they're depressed. It's an exception, very small number, but usually no, it doesn't work that way. So yeah,
So that is the thing. And now we will move on to hate speech and cancel culture. The
hate speech and
hate
cancel culture.
speech, it is dividing north and south. It is creating difference between religion, caste system, and a lot of things. So, and also the hate speech comes into the picture, and it is mostly towards the minority group.
Always has been there like that, right? Even if you see in the Roman Empire where they had the stadiums, what do you call that? There's some term for it. They used to have all the minorities left out there, and all the majority was sitting and mocking them. So it's always there, always has been there.
When we give people enough freedom in social media and right to speak, right to text, right to express your feeling in social media, all this problem comes like hate speech, cancel culture.
For example, if you take a gun, give it to somebody, give it to a soldier, give it to a terrorist, there's a difference, right? But they have their own stories. A terrorist will say, no, he's fighting for his own people. The soldier is saying he's fighting for his people. So who's the terrorist? Who's the soldier? It's kind of like that. It's a mixture.
Okay, so when we speak about cancel culture can be utilized for good reasons, and mostly it is happening for bad reasons now.
Yeah.
Cancel culture, there has been a few good things like Me Too movement, and the cancel culture mainly happens in social media.
What I have observed, in that at least 20%, 30% of the cases would be real. The remaining, it's all a scam again. People are going to get frustrated about this, but it's true. People who have observed can see. Most of the people who have come up with the Me Too movement, it's again attention. So many ways.
What
For
about the
example,
Eminem?
no, I was going to say, what about
Eminem.
for cancel culture? Yeah,
Yeah,
that
cancel
was there,
culture.
right? Eminem, they tried to cancel him because of some of his old lyrics, but they don't understand that it's been there in the culture. It is rap, it's rhymes. This is how they play, this is how they write. But some sudden liberal who just realized, like, oh my god, it's such a bad thing that he has done, and they can't take it, and they bring up like-minded people. They just want to cancel. But it didn't work out with Emin. It happens with a lot of stand-up comedians also, but it's not good.
Cancel culture is used for public shaming the celebrities or well reputed person. It is as good as giving judicial power in the hands of common man. Does it come under right to express yourself, right to speech, right to text, or should we filter it out?
What is your take on it? I'm just asking. I know you asked me a question, but what is your take on it?
My take is, see, Indian government can put some filters on it. Facebook can delete some really disturbing content from social media. I think Facebook is for it, but if you see Elon Musk, X, but he is not for it. But he has to survive in India. He has to abide with Indian rules and regulation. But still, the cancel culture is an easy way to harm the reputation of a person. Should a well reputed person be afraid of a fake cancel culture?
If you are really true with your job, you know what you're doing is for the best. If you are a highly conscientious human being, let them say whatever they want to say. Stupid people going to say anyway whatever they want to say. That is the best way to look at it. You don't have to care. Now, this can go up to people simply thinking that whatever I know is the best and I want to do it. It's not like that. It's like people who really understand life, who understand the reality of life. And when they're doing something conscious and good for the society, right? They can think about things like this and do it.
Fine. So we have covered most of the topics related to woke culture.
I mean, a lot of things are there, but yeah, I think this much is okay.
This much is good. So give us a beautiful end with the connect through spirituality.
Beautiful end with spirituality. Like I said, it's all about the human being, right? When you realize who you are, then people cannot invest in themselves, understand who they are. Who are they to go and talk shit about others? Doesn't work that way. Yeah, you just have to work on yourself, understand what is the good side of you, understand the light and dark side of yourself, try to balance between both, understand your emotions, understand where you come from, where you are, where you want to go, and how you want to be placed in the society. Self understanding is the most important thing, regardless of whatever you're a man, woman, any category in the LGBTQ, if you're an alien, anything depends on you.
Fine then.
So,
So we are ending today's podcast and we will come up with new topic in next podcast. Uh, Thank you till then.
we've spoken as much as we can, whatever it is regarding this woke topics. But yeah, we'll meet you again in the next podcast. Till then, subscribe to our channel and let us know what you think about what we spoke in the comments. See you soon again. Take care.